What are some good questions that you might want to consider asking a candidate for local office? One question that was not asked at this campaign forum, which is, I believe is very important, is how much is your campaign budget? Where are you spending the money, and what are you doing to tell the word out about you? Are you spending no money? Are you spending $10,000? Are you spending $100,000? There's no right or wrong answer for a candidate, but it's important for us to know what kind of financial resources the candidate is spending to get the word out. Now, if the campaign spending budget is very, very low, then the candidate may be depending upon individuals to work for him or her. If it's very high, then the next question is, where is the money going to be spent? Mail, electronic advertising, TV, radio? How are you going to spend the money? It's going to be on yard signs. So we want to know, what is the size of the budget? Caveat. This is really important. We do not judge by how much they're spending their campaign on, because it depends on the size of the government. It depends on how important it is to get the word out. But we do want to know how much they're going to spend. The next question, which is really related to this, which is really, it's an essential question, which is never asked, is who's giving you your money? Where does your campaign resources come from? I would encourage you, do not fall for the trap of saying, pick a number. My campaign is supported by, 1,000 people. Well, that sounds really impressive, but what if 900 people are giving $5 and you have 1 or 2 people giving the rest of the dollar amount? So we want to know, where does the money come from? Is it coming from 1 or 2 wealthy individuals? Is it coming from a union? Is it coming from a industry? Or is it coming from a public interest group, some kind of a lobbying group? One thing, this is why it's important, though, giving money to a political campaign. Now, I am not talking about graft and corruption. I'm saying that people give money because they want access to meet the candidate. So if somebody gives you a lot of money so that you can buy literature, gives you money so you can buy yard signs, and they ask you, could you have coffee with me? I have a couple of questions. Odds are you'll say what? Yes. Now, contributions are a form of access, and they are a form of showing, I ask you to support my policy, my program. That's why it's really critical for us to understand, where does the money come from? If the money comes from a political party, that raises other kinds of questions. If you're dealing with a local election, most municipal elections are nonpartisan. You don't run as a Republican or a Democrat or a Green or whatever. But if the money's come from one political party, then they're going to use that office. They're going to politicize that office so that it achieves the objectives of that particular political party. It's critical to know, where is the money coming from. Again, finances are essential ways to get our information out about a candidate or about a public policy issue. So we want to know, where is it coming from? Another question to ask a candidate, this is really significant, is what alliances are you a member of? Are you a member, even if it's a nonpartisan independent election, who is supporting you? Where does your support come? Are you supporting another candidate? Are you two running together with a similar public policy position? So, are you running totally independently? Are you running with allies in the campaign? What is your relationship with other elected officials? So we want to understand the political allowances of the candidate. Let me just restate that a little bit. It's important to understand whether or not a candidate for public office has alliances or associations with other candidates and with other elected officials. Because if you know those alliances, then you can begin to understand the true political preferences, true policy preferences of a candidate. So that's what we want to do, is to be able to understand those kinds of issues. One last question that might be kind of interesting to ask. Now, if you're a ferret, you're going to go to dark places. And a lot of times candidates don't want you to shine onto dark places. One question to ask is, tell me about your legal background. Have you been charged with a crime? Have you served time in jail? That answer lets you determine what's about the background of that individual. If the individual's been guilty of a crime, spent time in jail, do you want to give that individual control over the budget? It's an important question to know. And also understand, too, that sometimes, the political process does wash over into the judicial process. We don't like it, but occasionally it does. But a question is, what have you done legally? Has the state, has the city, has the national government chosen to take you to court because of actions that you've taken? Now, this is an important question because you may have done something in one state, but you're running for office in a different state. So we have to look at the individual's background, the full background. So now we're looking at their legal issues. Now, another question you might want to ask your candidate is, have you been involved in a legal dispute with the current city government? Not necessarily a bad thing, but we want to know, has the candidate taken legal action, sued the current government? If they have, you want to understand what were the conditions. If they have not, that's important to know. So we want to understand what has been the nature of the relationship between the candidate and the current government for which they're seeking office.